What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm back here at Mercedes-Benz of Bonita Springs, where I'm going to be checking out this brand new 2023 Mercedes-Benz EQE 500. Now, the EQE is the brand new addition to the Mercedes-Benz EV lineup, and I'm so excited to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out from the exterior, interior, play with some cool technology, take it for a test drive, the whole 9 yards. If this is the first time we meet, my name is Matt, and here at Matt the Carguy, I post 2 car reviews every single week. So if that's something you enjoy watching, do me a favor, check out the rest of my channel. I hope you'll like it, and if you do, give me the subscribe and make sure to leave me a like after you watch this video. If you remember a few months ago, I was right here on this lot doing a review of the EQS, which was the first modern era Mercedes-Benz electric vehicle. And I mentioned at that time that Mercedes is planning to come up with several more vehicles this year. Now we're right at the very end of 2022, and this is the 4th one that came out. So now we have the EQS sedan, we did the EQS SUV, then the EQB, which is basically an electric GLB. Now this is the EQE sedan, and there's also an EQE SUV. So total of 5 electric vehicles that Mercedes-Benz introduced in 2022. Now, while the EQB is basically an electrified GLB, which shares a lot of characteristics with its non-electric model, the EQS and the EQE are completely from the ground up made electric vehicles. So they have a very similar, what some people call this jelly bean design, a very unique one to boot. And you know, with the base model, if you look at the base model of that, doesn't look very attractive at all, but with some upgrades that this particular one has, it actually looks pretty cool. So let's check this out right here. This hood looks like it's a clamshell design, but it doesn't open. Mercedes says there's no need for anybody to get inside of this, underneath the hood, and see what's there, other than, of course, technicians if they need to do some work or maintenance on the vehicle. Now what we have here is we have this upgraded grille. Now normally you'll have this old piano black grille, but for $300 extra you can actually have the Mercedes star that illuminate inside of here, and that's what this one has. Now it does have a huge Mercedes star right in front of your front view camera, and it has been upgraded with this digital LED light, and they project millions of pixels to the road ahead of you for better visibility. Now also the front grille right here, the bottom portion, the front bumper, looks a lot more aggressive, and that's because this vehicle has this AMG trim line for the exterior and the interior of this vehicle. So you can see this piano black with the chrome accents as far as this front fascia and the splitter right at the bottom, as well as it has more aggressive air intakes on the side for better aerodynamics. 3 different engine options are available on the EQE this year, and we have somewhat the higher end without going for the AMG. This is the EQE 500, so we have this 402 horsepower electric motor. I want to tell you all about it while driving this vehicle. Check it out from the side, guys. Well, let me know in the comment section below what you think about this vehicle. I always want to learn what my viewers think of the cars that I'm reviewing as far as the design of it. Now, I believe that for a lot of people it's going to be kind of love at first sight or hate at first sight relationship with this vehicle. So let's check this out. First of all, it looks very much like a jelly bean to me, right? And it looks plain, but with some accents on this particular one, it actually looks fairly cool. So first of all, normally you get the 20-inch wheels. This has the 21-inch wheels, multi-spoke AMG black wheels, really nicely fit this vehicle. Also the tires, what's interesting, it has the 255/35 tires on here. It does have a massive 285/30, so even lower profile in the back as far as the tires. Those are summer range optimized tires, so it gives you a little bit more of a range for the electric vehicles. Now, as far as the rest of it, you can see the EQE right here displayed like we've seen on the EQS and the EQS SUV. That part right here is where you see what model it is. Polar white is the color of this vehicle. We have the polar white mirror cap, and then the turn signal, camera right on the side here, blind spot assist. Now the surrounding of the windows are the satin chrome, looks pretty cool. Fairly large window, so I expect a nice visibility from inside of this vehicle. And what I like about this is this black, piano black side skirt on it, part of this AMG package. And right on top of here you have this chrome trim piece to kind of break it up even more. Now what Mercedes has also is this deployable door handle, so you press on it and the door handle come out of this vehicle, you know, kind of like on the Mercedes-Benz S-Class and on all of the electric SUVs, or the EQS and the EQS SUV. So that's the side of it. Let's move on to the back. Probably one of my favorite parts of this vehicle is its back end. I like it. It's futuristic, but maybe not as much as you'll see in the front and on the side, and that kind of what I like. So you do have a third brake light that's built in here, right in here, this trim piece. Now this particular one's got a trunk lid spoiler. It's got the LED light set up. Now this blade light that glows in the dark, that includes pretty much everything. So you have your tail lights, turn signals, reverse lights. You do have the reflector lights down at the bottom here. EQE 500 right underneath this Mercedes-Benz star. That's where the rear view camera is. It actually opens up and deploys. Pretty smart thing that hides it from elements. So even in snow or rain, you're not going to have a dirty 4Matic. It is an all-wheel drive vehicle. And then scrolling down in here, this is pretty cool. Now in front, we've seen the design for the front bumper. We see the same kind of thing in the back. It's more aggressive, more aerodynamic. And instead of having the exhaust tips, which obviously you don't have on an electric vehicle, it has two diffusers on the side for better aerodynamics and a pretty cool look of it. Now this opens up, and you can open it up from the remote, which is what I'm going to do right now, so we can check out and see how much room we have inside. Let's check this out, but first things first, I want to point out that you have the seat releases right here for the left and right seat, so if you needed more room, you don't have to get inside and do it. And this is also the close and lock button. And as far as the roominess, well, it does have quite a bit of it. Now, it's not maybe as deep as we've seen on some of the other mid-size sedan, but it is substantial for a lot of, you can put a couple suitcases in here. Now, a little bit more storage underneath here, and then you can see you have this air compressors, so you have the flat tire kit basically. And what I wanted to show you, I actually left it in here, it does have the fragrance package, so you basically put it in the fragrance dispenser inside of this vehicle, and then it's gonna project that inside the vehicle. Now let's fold the seats down. Let's see how that works. Boom. So that releases them, and that gives you that much more room. They're 60-40 split with the ability to fold down this middle 20 section, or that should be 40-20-40 split, with the ability to fold down that middle section by itself. Let's check out the roominess in this vehicle. So getting inside of it, it's fairly easy. Sit inside, plenty of knee room right here. Now it is sitting up pretty high up, so I wish the seats were a little bit higher, but you can't make them higher because right now, sitting as I am already touching this headliner right here. So I would have to move over just a little bit to sit underneath this panoramic sunroof in order to have enough room not to hit my head above this. So definitely a room for improvement. I'd like to see a lot more headroom in here. Shoulder room is fine. You sit fairly comfortable. There's a lot of amenities inside of this vehicle, so let's check them out together. Check this out, guys. Starting with the door panel right here, there's a lot of things going on in here. First of all, it does have this nice suede insert over here. It does have this neoprene looking material with the red contrast stitching. Also has this piano black trim around this door handle, lock on lock. Again, you have the window controls, nice aluminum trim. You have the Burmeister stereo, a little bit more storage right underneath here. So moving on to the interior of this vehicle, first things first, I gotta show you, it does have the 2 sunroofs. So that takes up a little bit of the headroom, which I was complaining before. And also, if you look in here, look how narrow this portion is. So I would be concerned about the visibility to the back, especially through the rearview mirror, but we're going to check that out while driving. Now, the seats are nice and comfortable, nicely profiled leather seats. Now, this opens up. Of course, it does have the armrest right here, and it does have the deployable cup holders if you needed them. So that's pretty cool. And also in the middle console right here, you have your panel to control your climate control, as well as the vents right here. Both seats have a little bit of storage inside of them, and there's only a very slight bump on the floor. Well, before we get into, of course, let's check out the sound of the closing door, but I want to show you how to open it. So you get close to the vehicle, you push on the door handle, they deploy right here, and then you just pull it, right? So let's close it. Boom, and that's nice and solid thud right here. The front door panel, just like the back one, the same kind of idea, but you do have 3 memory seat settings, heated, ventilated seats over here. And then you have your mirror window controls on the side. That's, of course, your seat control. Burmeister stereo, that's where you open your rear trunk. And then you have the Mercedes-Benz that illuminates. By the way, I'm going to get it in the parking garage to show you how it illuminates, but let's check out just the design of it. So these are the AMG seats. So they're nicely profiled. They're not overly aggressive, but they'll hold you in place. And the AMG steering wheel, now this is an AMG vehicle or an AMG line package, so it does have the aluminum pedals with the rubber stubs on them, and overall the interior looks pretty cool. Now, one thing to mention, you do have storage right underneath this floating console on top, so you can put some more stuff underneath here if you wanted to. Now let's get inside and see what else we have. Well, here it is, guys, 2023 EQE interior, and that shines like literally. It's got a lot of technology, it's got a lot of screens. We're going to go through those really quick, but I want to show you of how this interior looks. I love this trim over here. They call it the yacht trim. It's $1,500 options. Looks really, really nice on this vehicle. And then you can see the round vents on the side. There's also a set of vents right over here to distribute the air nicely over the entire cabin. And then you have the same material as you see on top of the doors, kind of this suede / neoprene material with the contrast stitching. As you can see, you also see all of this ambient lighting all over the car, and then there's 64 different colors you can choose from. You can make it a solid color, you can make it an animation, whatever you want to make it, you can do that. Now this part right here, that's your head-up display. I'm not even sure if you can see that, but there's speed right there, and then the speed limit sign. That's what displayed is right inside of here. Now, because this has the interior AMG trim, it does have the AMG seats, it does have the AMG steering wheel, so it's a little bit more aggressive. It's super nice to the touch. It's very, very comfortable, and it does have a lot of buttons on it. So let's go through them and see what we see. Now, first of all, this is the kind of the 2-tier design. So we'll see here right on top is what controls things that are going on in the instrument cluster. And then right at the bottom, you have the cruise control and dynamic cruise control. And, you know, those are the buttons that control here. Now, on the right-hand side, you control what's going on in this screen over here. And at the bottom here, you have your volume control, phone pickup, phone hang up, and then you have your voice control. Mercedes stars nicely in the smoked chrome, so it's not as bright as you can see on some of the other ones. And then you have this third spoke right here, and that's aluminum. Now, you might have noticed that there is what appear to be the pedal shifters, but these are actually what controls the recuperation of energy. So you can get it from normal recuperation, no recuperation, or strong recuperation, and that's gonna decide of how much energy is going to be recuperated during braking. Now, This is a 12.3-inch screen. We've seen that screen before. A bunch of options you can customize of it. Let's hit the home screen over here, and first thing you can see of how many different displays you can have. So you can have the understated display, for example. You can have the sport display. But the one that I like the most, I think I like the classic display. And what you see on this one is on the right-hand side, you have the percentage of power. On the left-hand side, you have the speedometer. That's also displayed right on top over here. And then you have the speed sign read, which, of course, we're in the garage. There's no speed signs over here. It's really nice and bright. If you wanted to put the navigation in here, you can as well. And then it displays the map right in front of you, so you don't have to take your eyes from the front of the vehicle. Now, a lot more customization can be made through this screen right here, and this is the 12.8-inch screen. That's portrait mode. We've seen that on some of the other Mercedes-Benzes. Now, this one doesn't have this hyper screen as we've seen on the EQSs, which basically get the 56 inches or so of screen space. This one has two separate screens, which is still very, very nice. And it does have an EQ icon in here, so let's hit that and let's see what we have. So first of all, you can find the charging stations. Go straight to the navigation and searches for the charging stations and vicinity, and we can actually close that up. Go back to this main screen, parking spaces. Let's go to range, because this is pretty cool. This is where you can actually adjust certain options to maximize the range. So you can see that right now we're at about 95% of battery, and that displayed right over here at the bottom. And we have a range of 245. Now we can maximize it, make it 249 if we do certain things. So here, maximize range at 2 miles actually. 1 mile if you go to the eco driving functions, and add another mile if we restrict some interior functions. Now, I'm not going on the road trip, so I'm not going to worry about it, but that's good to know that it has that available. Charging, so you can open the socket flap, charging pause none, battery and pre-temp control, it's automatic. Okay, consumption gives you the last 7.5 minutes, 30 minutes, 90 minutes, 3 hours, and that's just in that EQ mode right here. Now, bottom here, you have some of the floating display. Those are the 0-layer displays. Pretty cool, actually. So you can see. Let's open this up. And I'm going to turn the volume off, make sure, but you have several different sources. So let's go to here. You have the favorites, FM, Sirius XM. You have my phone that's connected in here, or you can connect other Bluetooth media player. So let's go back out here. It does have the wireless Android Auto. I'm going to show you that in a second. Let's go to the home screen. So you have different apps. Mercedes Me, browser, license info, energizing coach. Right now we have the Android Auto playing right here, but you can do Bluetooth or USB. There's no other media connected. Back to home screen. Let's see the comfort settings. So you have the seat kinetics. You do have the massage seats basically. Driver and passenger. Ambient lighting. As I told you, you can have the monochrome color, so pick one of the 64 different colors. And then if you like yellow, let's see how it adjusts right here. Looks pretty cool, right? Green. Alright. Or you can do the multicolor display. Just do the blue one. Alright. You can set up the brightness. You can set up the effects. Energizing comfort. Set this up. Freshness. Oh, I gotta tell you. Now it activated the ventilated seats because I can feel them blowing in my back, which is pretty cool. It does have this super cool, by the way, this is the OLED display. It's really nice, really bright. Pretty cool. So it cleans the air too, right here. You can see that. Go back to the main screen. Car settings. Right, so you have the assistance vehicle light system, active distance assist, DISTRONIC. Okay, you can adopt speed limit based on dynamic select, comfortable dynamic, so you can Adjust the DISTRONIC to your driving style, collision avoidance assistance, camera, parking. All settings are right here. Vehicle, sound experience. I turned that on. It's pretty cool. So basically, you have the sound experience outside. When I lock the car and it makes noise. Okay, hear that? That's basically what the noise is when you lock the vehicle. Kind of like Han Solo's walking away from the Millennium Falcon and hits the remote and it does like this or something like this. It's pretty cool. Alright, we can close that. Snow chain mode. It's pretty cool. This vehicle can actually go in snow chain. Basically what it does, it maximum steering angle on the rear axle is restricted, so turning radius is increased. So it does have the rear wheel steering, up to 10% rear wheel steering, but it would help tremendously. This is pretty cool. Car wash mode. Alright, you can activate it and basically it's going to fold in the mirrors, windows and roof closed, Parktronic off and rain sensors off, so you don't have to worry about your windshield wipers going in. So that's when you go into the car wash, it actually has the car wash mode. And let's see what else we have. Android Auto. Okay, so my phone is connected wirelessly through here, and you can see, you know, what's playing on the right hand side. I want to put the map in here. If I want to set up a destination, let's see, we're going to go to Walgreens here somewhere, right? And I want to go back in here. It's going to kind of split the screen. You have the destination, or you have the navigation from the Android Auto on the right hand side and the icons on the left hand side. So it kind of takes up most of the screen, and go actually to the MBUX screen from here. Info, energy flow. Okay, we're 95% charge. Here's your comfort. Accelerator at 0%. Brake, because I have my foot on the brake. Let it off. So 0% brake, 0% accelerator. You can also have your pitch and roll right here at the bottom. And then as far as the steering angles, you can see here. I'm going to turn my steering wheel. So now I have it in drive. As you can see, as I can start driving, it changes the angle of the front and rear steering, right, or the wheels. So right now I'm at 30% in the front, 4.5 in the back. So that's a nice steering assist. And then I'm basically here at 0. So put it in reverse actually to check out that rear view camera. All right, love it. Actually, the visibility right here, the quality of the picture, it's awesome. Okay, you can have different angles over here. There you go. We can have it right from the top of here, see in the parking structure. Front view camera. Rear view camera. Very nice camera system. So let's go back to the main screen over here. Bottom part of the screen over here is your basically climate control. So you have your climate menu. You can open it up on the entire screen. As you can see, first row of seats, second row of seats, air quality, pre-entry climate. There's lots of options that you can do. I like this pre-entry climate control. So you can edit departure time. So if you're leaving at, say, at 8 o'clock in the morning, and if you wanted the vehicle to be ready for you, let's say have a certain temperature inside of it, you can do that. You can program that, and then it will activate before you even get in the vehicle, which is pretty nice. The air quality, right now you can see exterior, good, interior, good, energizing air control plus, and tells you that it reduces microparticles, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen oxide, and odors. And we have the fragrance. We need to insert the fragrance vial, which I showed you while showing the trunk, so we can't do that here. Ionization cleans the air inside of the vehicle. I have that on, and then have the air recirculating inside of the vehicle, so that's also cool. So basically that's your climate control settings. You can set it up. There you go. Front window defogger, turn that on or off. Different vent setting positions. As you can see, there's a super nice animation that helps you visualize of where stuff is. You can also turn that off if you don't want to. You know, as far as the seats, I showed you that the heated and ventilated seats actually are controlled over here. So You can turn those on and off from here, and of course your temperature control, your fan settings, that's where it's done. You can set it up on auto if you'd like to, and then, you know, front window defogger, rear window defroster, that's what you have. Now over here you have the dynamic drive select options, and what we have here is we have several of them. So you can see that here's your eco. This is your most eco mode, so it's gonna extend the range to maximum. Comfort mode, sport mode, or individual mode, and you can customize the individual mode in your settings. You also have your parking assist. Select the view by touching the display. Here's your parking assistance. Okay, it basically uses sensors to that are looking for the parking spaces. We're not going to do that right now, but it is available. Then is a shortcut for your eco, shortcut for your vehicle settings as far as the safety settings. So let's say you're going to a car wash, all you have to do is press this button right here at the bottom, hit the car wash mode, done. And those are basically kind of like toggle switches. Tow-away alarm, trunk blocked, all settings, you know, etc. Hazard lights. This is your fingerprint reader, which, you know, we don't have the fingerprint, you know, programmed into here, and that goes through the Mercedes Me. And turn that display off or system off if you'd like to have it a blank screen. Now, well, of course, you have the volume control, and then you have the volume mute. So what do we have here? If you open this up, you have a set of cup holders, digital key. You also have the USB-C ports, and then right over there is where you put your phone. Not the ideal place because it's kind of out of the way, but I guess if it's a wireless Android Auto, right, and it's connected to it, who cares? It can be out of the way, right? And then there's more storage right underneath here. Not a ton, but quite a bit. All right, so does it have the mirror with the camera built in? No, and this vehicle can certainly benefit from here. And the reason behind it is, I'm not sure if you can see, but how narrow this gap is for the rear visibility. So that would be nice if it actually had it. Right on top of here, you have the sunroof. Sunroof controls are right here. You can basically close it like we did right now. Open it. And there you go. We can slide it open. Nice windscreen over here. That's a lot of sound inside. We can close it. One touch operation. That makes this vehicle so quiet. Why? Everything is closed down. There you go. Kind of like somebody turns the mute button. Well, this is the interior of it. Let's see how it drives. I'm excited to take this vehicle for a spin. Before we do that, let's check it out. Let's see what's available. So first of all, there's 3 different trim levels for the EQE for 2023. The EQE 350, and that starts at $75,950. EQE 350 Plus, $78,950. And EQE 500, that starts at $86,895. Now we're sitting in the EQE 500 4Matic, and this vehicle is heavily equipped. Now the MSRP of the one that I'm sitting in right now, it's $105,000, so that's a lot more than the starting MSRP, but it does have a lot of amenities that I'm going to list in the description of this videos. Now there's 2 different engine options. The first one, EQE 350, 288 horsepower. What we have here is 402 horsepower, about 635 pound-feet of torque. Now the 0 to 60 on Mercedes website, it's not published yet, but I read somewhere that it's about 5.2 seconds, so it is very quick. Now in comparison to the EQE 350, which is about 6.2 seconds, sheds about a second, so that's pretty cool. Before we actually get on the street, let's check out one thing, and that's the turning radius. And with the rear wheel steering, that should be phenomenal. So let's check this out. I'm here in this parking lot. I'm going to turn this wheel all the way to the left, and let's make a circle. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. The way that it turns, it almost turns around its own axle. With the rear wheel steering, it's incredible of how tight this turning radius is. Now overall, it feels very quiet in the cabin. You have a lot of visibility, great large windshield in the front, large windows to the side. A big complaint is the visibility through the rear view mirror here. So definitely I would like to see that improved, and maybe a solution to it would be putting this rear view camera that's going to project the image to the rear view mirror. That would definitely help out quite a bit. Now the cabin itself, it is so quiet, it barely lets any noises in from the exterior. I like it. I think it's solid. Also, everything that you touch feels good. Now I'm going to stop right here, probably something I'm not supposed to do, but there's nobody behind us. We're at 0 and I'm in the sport mode. Let's go. And we're at 60 miles an hour, 65 right now. So it is very, very quick vehicle. It is powerful, about 5.2 seconds. There are vehicles that are definitely quicker than that. But you know, this is a non-sporty vehicle. Now there is an AMG version of the EQE coming out soon. Now Mercedes hasn't published any like official data on it, but I suspect that it's going to be a lot faster than this. This is about 5.2 seconds. Maybe the other one's going to be somewhere in the 3s, which is going to be really quick. I like the sound that it makes. It does have the sound experience that I turned on, so it almost feels like a gasoline powered vehicle, and this is a plus to me because that kind of reminds you that you still have a motor that's working and that propels this vehicle. Now the steering is very nice. It's fairly tight, but you feel like you're in control of this vehicle, and it definitely feels like it's planted on the road. Solid. You know, as far as the drive, there's no complaints there. But there is one big complaint if I were to buy one, you know, and this is the roominess and the headroom in the rear seat. Now I'm 6 feet tall. So there's many people that are taller than me, and if I'm touching my head to the headliner, that means that anybody taller than me is going to have a really hard time fitting in this vehicle in the back. So unless you're buying it just for yourself and maybe, you know, occasionally driving a couple people in the back, that's okay, but that's something to be concerned about if you are shopping for one. The other thing is the range. The range is not the greatest. About 260 miles range on this EQE 500. Now, you know, 260 miles is going to take you probably about 4 hours, maybe 3.5 hours. So after 3.5 hours, you probably should have a break. And, you know, Mercedes says that it charges from 10 to about 85%, about 31 minutes. So, you know, if you are planning your road trip accordingly and you have the level 2 chargers on the way, you can definitely make it happen. I think that the electric vehicles are going to be ready and a lot more popular, where the range is going to be extended beyond 400 miles, and when the charging times are actually going to be about, you know, 20-30 minutes tops from 0 to full. And I think we're on the good way to get there. It's just not quite yet. Also, one important thing to mention, I like electric vehicles. I actually like the technology that's involved in them, the drive of them, the power, you know, all of the cool features that you have on the electric vehicles. What I don't like is the mainstream media trying to sell us the electric vehicle as a solution to a climate crisis, because there's a lot more stuff that goes into it that people don't talk about, you know, such as producing the battery, how much energy is used, how much resources are used to produce those batteries, how much damage to the environment does lithium mining does, and all of that stuff that we don't think. Now, this is a great addition to a combustion engine vehicle. I don't think I'm ready for electric vehicle quite yet. I know that maybe that's going to be the end of the combustion engine vehicle soon, but hopefully not. Hopefully we're going to be able to still have the ability to choose in between the electric vehicles, combustion engine, and choose the ones that we like. I think that's a great option. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you to Mercedes-Benz of Bonita Springs for providing this vehicle. I hope you like this vehicle, and I hope you learned something from it. And if you did, check out the rest of my channel. If you like automotive content, consider subscribing. I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.